Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next fight for UFC 320. In this matchup, we have Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford, and this is also like the husband of Paige Van Sant, if I'm not mistaken. So, just a little bit of trivia for you. Brahimaj is 12-5 as a professional, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, while Vanderford is 13-2 as a professional, as well as 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Now, looking at Brahimaj, there was a time where he was trading wins and losses, where he would lose these decisions to like Court McGee and Demba Garimba, but then every time he would win these fights, it often be a pretty good finish, like against Michael Gilmore. Currently speaking, though, Brahimaj is riding a 2-fight win streak, knocking out Mickey Gall in the first round and submitting Billy Ray Goff this year in May, with a pretty gnarly guillotine. Meanwhile, Vanderford doesn't have much of a UFC record right now. He made his debut in February in a TKO win over Nikolai Vernatenikov. And before that, he seemingly wasn't competing much in MMA. He was kind of helping out his wife. But during his time in MMA, he's probably best known for his time in Bellator at welterweight, where he did fight for the title. He's fought some good names, beat some good names like Fabian Edwards, lost to Gegard Mousasi, who's an MMA legend, and that kind of stuff most of his career. Looking at the matchup, you definitely have a battle of two ground specialists, though they kind of use their ground skills a different way. Brahimaj mostly looks for the submissions, while Austin Vanderford is much more of a top position grappler with good ground and pound. As for their striking, I would say they're both competent enough to throw good power to their shots, utilize kicks when need be, and mostly revolves around heavy boxing. Brahimaj definitely showed some good power on the feet, but how good is your power when you're knocking out Mickey Gall? I mean, apparently he hits harder than Basel Hafez, so that says something. But the main goal of Brahimaj is, I'm not even going to say clinch pressure, just attack and find openings on the feet, and if not, he's got really good guillotines. You saw it with Billy Ray Goff, where I'm forgetting the exact position, but I think he either had it like this and then changed the grip, went high elbow, and literally just choked out Goff unconscious. So he's got that great finishing instinct you love to see in some fighters, or actually all fighters. Who am I kidding? And you do love to see all fighters have that really good killer instinct, and that's definitely what Brahimaj has. Problem is when he fights a certain skill level, even at old Court McGee, he seems to get dominated. And it's these top pressure wrestlers that are able to fight off submissions very well and keep the position. What does Austin Vanderford do? Well, he does basically what I just said. He's got some good boxing in his own right. I can't say it's as powerful as Brahimaj, but it serves as a good tool to close distance and implement his wrestling, where he's got pretty good takedowns. He's got some variety, as you saw with Vernatenikov, where he picked up the leg, one hand to the hip, and kind of just spun him out and tripped him at the leg. But he's also got strong, general good shots as well, good double legs, good single legs. Once he gets top pressure, though, you're kind of stuck there. As well as Vanderkov, as well as Fabian Edwards. Now, granted, both those guys don't have the best wrestling defense, but still. Well, Vanderford is able to get good top pressure, and then once he unloads in the ground and pound, it's pretty much a wrap. He's good at winning these decisions and or winning via ground and pound. Now, granted, I can say in the Vernatenikov fight, it doesn't look like he was doing much damage, but at the same time, Vernatenikov just wouldn't move. He just could not get up from him, and the fight had to be stopped then. I guess the question is Austin Vanderford, even at 35, which at welterweight's not the best look, but he just certainly still get some good wins at this age. We just saw Neil Magny last card get a big win over Jake Matthews, even if the whole stoppage debacle is bullshit. You can watch that video if you want. I'll send a link. But my point being is, I think Vanderford still gets some wins at welterweight. And right now, I definitely think he can beat a Ramiz Brahimaj. He has the exact style that I would think of in order to beat Brahimaj. Good top pressure, good wrestling in his own right, good some striking as well. They're both, I think, of a similar caliber of strikers, really. They don't have much in terms of variety, but they're simplistic in what they need to, and that simplicity helps them incorporate with their grappling. Now, that being said, these odds kind of wide for the fighter I'm picking. Austin Vanderford, minus 250, plus 200 for Brahimaj. I'll say this: if you're looking for like a live underdog, I wouldn't put it past myself to say, ooh, Brahimaj at plus 200 is not a bad underdog at all. In fact, if he has, besides he's got that killer instinct, like I said, he can find the finish is on Vanderford if the opportunity presents itself and could go in for the win. It's just that when he fights these level of fighters, like I've said, like Garimbo and McGee, it's just he clearly loses and he gets dominated too, like these 30-27s. I don't want to say it's a round or a bust, but it's so far a pattern. Like if he can overwhelm them with his offense early, he gets them out of there. If he can't, it's oftentimes he just runs out of ideas and loses these decisions. So with that being said, I think Vanderford has the style to beat him. I am going to pick him. I lean towards the decision. Brahimaj is pretty tough out there. I don't think he's even been finished in the UFC, let alone his career. But that definitely leads me to think Vanderford can at least get a good decision win. Now, even in terms of physical specs, Vanderford's slightly taller, 5'11 to the 5'10 Brahimaj, with a 74-inch reach to 72. All in all, it's not too wide of a gap if we're talking height and reach. But in a game of inches, like MMA, it always matters to have some type of edge in that category. In this case, height and reach. So, all that being said, I'm going to go with Austin Vanderford, and I think he's going to get the decision win. As I said, I think he just has the style that's tailor-made to win this fight. Next up on the card, we will have Polioli Soriano versus Nikolai Verdentenikov. With that being said, if you like the video, comment and subscribe. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd like to see who you think is going to win this fight and how. I always enjoy hearing your opinion. I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.